All right, quick review of a gradient overlay like you would see here in this box behind Keith Richards' The Text. So it's black with red in the middle and it radiates out to the sides. Let's look at it in Photoshop. I've got a shape drawn here and I'm going to hit the FX button, or if we were in Photopea, it'd be the EFF button on the Layers panel. You're going to go to Gradient Overlay in whichever program that you are in. It's going to immediately choose a default, and you can see here mine chose this blue one, but most of the time it will default to I'm going to hit reset to defaults. It will default to whatever your foreground and background colors are and to linear. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose my colors. So notice if you just click here in the middle, you go to the color picker thing. If you click the drop down, you go to some choices of ones that they have. So you could kind of look and see if any of these are sort of like you want. In this case, like I could go with something like this, but notice it doesn't quite look exactly like the one that we need. And that's because the one that we need is going to be a radial gradient. So I'm going to just choose, because we only have two colors, black and red. So I'll choose this one, leave the black on one side, and then click on this bottom button and choose the red. And of course, you would depend on what your one looks like, but you go ahead and hit OK. That's linear, so it goes black at the bottom to red at the top. But the example is not like that. The example is middle out. So there we go. That is opposite what we need. So I'm going to check the reverse button, and there we go. And what we're going to have to do here is scale this to some degree. Now, if you can't get it to work exactly, you can also pull your gradient out and add additional color stops along the way. So right now it's just red and it goes straight to black. You could make that change by going in here and adding additional colors. So I could come in here and say, okay, I know it's black and I know it's red, but how about in the middle, let's choose a different color that it's going to be. And then you could come in here and pick a different red, or whatever, for that meaty intermediary color. That's kind of close to the color I already have. Um, there, so like more of a blood red down here and this one here. And then you can determine how much by dragging this around. It's kind of hard to see here, but you can see what's going on here. So these different little buttons, once we click down here, you've got this one here that's going to change where those colors change at, and it's really easier to see here. You can kind of see what it's going to look like here. So I can pull these in. It gives you kind of a better idea of the way it's going to gradiate out. And same thing, if I'm on this side, I can pull this one this direction, and you can kind of control, oops, added another one. Just drag it down if you accidentally add another one. But you can kind of control how it goes from one to the next. See how when I put this closer to this, these fade closer together? So same thing here. If I pull this one closer in and then farther out, see how it changes the way that goes. So anyway, you can move those around and mess with them until you get the desired look that you're after. But it takes some playing. You just have to kind of keep trying with the different ones there until you get it to look the way that you want. And again, just move this little button here. See how it's kind of pulling it out where it blends and doesn't blend. We can just kind of continue to move it until you get the look that you're looking for. All right, and that is a radial gradient in Photoshop.